So welcome back to this episode. We're discussing tribalism in the previous section. So this is a continuation of from where I stopped. In the previous section, I was talking about some of the good policies that Tinubu might have done, even though I don't think he would be the best guy that will help Nigeria. You understand? So what I do is, I everybody is biased. I'm not going to say I'm not biased or whatever, but I know that I try as much as possible to look at things like like objectively, because some of the policies he has done, one of the things he did, what he did in trying to reconcile the that's um the parallel market, that's like when it comes to forex, the parallel market and the official rate, what he did to try to reconcile them, even though we haven't achieved that yet, but at least that move was a good move. The local government or autonomy was like very, very important, very, very important, very vital, and that was in a good direction, you know. So, but I still know that no matter what, Tinubu is not actually going to like carry out some radical changes that will change Nigeria, because he has like affiliations. He's affiliated to so many so many of the elite groups. So who maybe helped him to get where he is, or he has helped to get where he is, or. So and then when you even look at his past policies in Lagos, so but that, like, it has nothing to do with that he's Yoruba or anything. No, our before, like, prior, I think when Atiku contested with Obi, I didn't even know much about, like, I mean, I didn't really know him. It was just when some of his videos started popping up. I started becoming interested. Wow, this guy is actually saying something. One of the guys there were two guys I was looking up to in Nigeria, even though that one of them now, I don't think I can look up to him now, but one person that I was actually looking up to in Nigerian politics that I deep down I wanted this guy to be president was Erufai, Nazir Erufai. And the reason I was looking up to Erufai was because of the radical changes he did in Abuja. I mean, many people, nobody likes change. Many people did not like the change he did, but I mean, like, he achieved some. So I just saw him, and then when you hear him talk, he can convince you. I just saw him as somebody that, like, actually wanted things to work. But then when all these allegations started coming up, I was like, okay, I know they there again. You understand? There is also marking there, you know. So, and even Akpabio did a very good job as governor in his state. Like, he did a very good job, you know. So these things has some of, like, if he has not, so when somebody might see my video and then he'll be saying he's obedient, this and that. No, I'm a Nigerian first. You understand? So, and I actually believe that if Tinubu actually wanted Nigeria to, like, if as his, like, in this his age, I should believe that maybe if he, like, maybe his last act for us should be like to radically change. There are some things that needs to be changed, like the constitution, radically change some things. So if he's able to do something, he's in the right place to do that if he wants to do it, because he has like he has affiliations to be easy for him to pass whatever he wants to pass through the assembly and all that. So I feel like he has been there. I feel like if he actually wants to make a change, he would do that. So, but that's by the way. Now, this same tribalism that we are talking about, let's now discuss how it affects us, because we don't seem to know the impacts. how it's affecting us in our everyday life, especially politically, because we are making the wrong decision. If you look at Nigeria, since our inception, things has not actually. I know people come and say, like people say things relatively. Like when they give you data, they give you relative. They tell you that things were good in 2015. But when you think about it, prior to 2015, 2020, things were also better. I mean, prior to 215, sorry, prior to 215, you will get 210 or 2009 or 2007. Things were actually better then than they were in 2015. Now, if you still go back again, you see that things were better before then. Like, so what it means is that things has actually our standard of living, inflation, um, corruption has been on the rise. Inflation has been on the rise. So the cost of petrol has also been on the rise. There was a time I remember this one is because we tend to forget easily. There was a time that petrol was 65, was it not 65 naira? Yeah, 85 naira. And then when the petrol reached um was it not 200 or 250 under Jonathan, people were like, no, this guy guys go. Now how much is petrol? We seem to forget. So you see that the problem is not Tinubu. No, Tinubu is there, he will go, another person will come and do their own and go. So the problem is that you have, like there is no incentive for them to there's no incentive for them to actually work, for them to actually do the right thing. That is one of the problems we have. So that incentive is not there because they believe and they know. Tinubu knows that if he fucks up, that like there may not actually be like a radical movement to bring him down because he will be protected by his people or by whatever maybe affiliation or by whatever group or cabal that he has. Like that's why all of them keep doing what they don't actually care because they know there is no incentive for them to do the right thing. So, and even when there is dividends of democracy and governance, we still see tribalism trickling in this aspect, in the sense that maybe like during the time of Buhari, you see them making like some of the infrastructural um, projects that they carried out, like the railway project. It's as if to say they aligned one part of the country. And when you do that, it doesn't actually help. Like if you go, even if you like, go to North, build like the best railway system for them. Make North prosperous. It doesn't. The reason why it doesn't actually help anybody is that when you do that, what is going to happen is that if the lives of people living in the north, like let's say the standard of living in the north increases, what you are going to see is that you are going to see a mass immigration into the northern region. And that is obviously going to put more pressure on the public services that you have there. And that is still going to lead to increase in poverty rate and all that, whatever you want to call it. So like people are going to move to where things are better. The same thing, that is the reason why Lagos is populated today. Because among all the states in Nigeria, Lagos has all the things that it needs to sustain itself as a city, as a mega city. You go to Lagos and you concentrate seaports in Lagos. So people are actually going. So when you consider the seaport in Lagos, it means that companies are going to want to be closer to that seaport because they can. There is a fast movement of to if you imported goods, it's easy to receive it there, you know. So now, if that is happening, people are going to be moving into Lagos, which means Lagos has more population, which also means that some other companies, other like companies that are, because should I say like secondary companies that will want to benefit from, let's say, the primary company that is there. Let's say there's a manufacturing company. So even though the manufacturing company is there, there's also going to be like an incentive to have like a good banking system there. There's going to be an incentive to have a good real estate system there. So that's still going to increase the number of companies that is in Lagos or that is in that area. So that is going to make people to live where they are and come there. And that's what's happening in Lagos today. And nobody likes it. Nobody wants to live in Lagos. Like, it is too stressful. But you have no choice. So if there is like, if there are countries, our leaders are making decisions that sometimes doesn't involve tribalism, if they're making that decision to, do things the normal way, why can't you, like, why can't, you are the president and you want to do a railway? Why don't you think of a way to connect the whole country together? You build a railway from, let's say, from Boronu to Abuja, from Sokoto to Abuja, from Abuja to Port Harcourt, from Abuja to Lagos, from Abuja to Edo. Like, you connect every part of the country and there is movement. Then if you also go to the regions in the east, why are they not also making decisions to connect themselves? You know, so there are just so many things. So when you look at all these things, you see that is not working. And then, so the point here is the impact. The impact I'm talking about is for us to actually choose leaders that will have the propensity to work, that has the potential to make good changes. This is how we start. Leaders that we think is not about where the person is coming from. Nobody cares where this guy is coming from. No, nobody cares. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to change. It's not going to bring money to your in your pocket. So, like, unless maybe your brother is contesting for that one, will be, I know, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So, I want to like share. I want to share some data here, and so that we can see what has actually been going on in Nigeria, so that we see that we are not helping anybody. This is a data from World Bank anyway. So it's not the most recent, but I just want to show the trend of what is actually going on. So this shows, is it the coupling between oil price and our the revenue in Nigeria. So like at some point in Nigeria, people were like saying that the reason Queen Buhari entered, they say the reason why there is no money is because oil price has gone down. But now, this is the light blue graph online shows is showing you oil prices, and then the dark blue one is showing you our revenue. So if you look at this, you see that oil prices, even though that it came down in 2015, it rose back again. As it's rising, you see that like our revenue has always been going down. Now, oil price, the lowest it had might be in 2020, but it has risen back since. But see where our oil revenue is. And this is because inefficiency to you know export oil, there is oil theft. People are playing politics with it. They know what to do, but they don't want to do it. This is our major source of revenue. If you can't export, how are you going to make money? How are you going to carry out project? Now, this graph also shows our external reserve, relationship between our external reserve and oil prices. Oil prices has been going up recently, but our external reserve is going down, is dwindling. Now, if you still come here, you see that this is our GDP. This is our GDP. You see how it's tanking. It tanked in 2020. I think then we were in recession. But then you look, things have just been going down. There is no peak here. There is no peak that goes outside the graph area. None. It has always been going down. So because our external reserve is going down, external reserve is like the what do they call it again? That's like like when we sell oil, the government saves a bit of that money into the external reserve. So it's the external reserve that they use in maybe settling international debt and all those things, whatever. So the external debt is usually in forex. So because now inflation, because our external debt has been going down, because our oil revenue has been going down and depleting our external reserve, which also means that um that's the naira, the value of naira will also be crashing, because obviously Nigeria can't, they don't have enough dollar to meet the demand of dollar. So which means that the value of our naira will keep going down. And then to help solve this problem, Nigeria will keep dipping into the external reserve. The external reserve is supposed to be there, like to like when there is like an emergency. That's why it's supposed to be like a savings account or whatever, if you however you want to describe it. So, but it's been going down since. And now look at this. This one is about inflation. See, the three most important sector in every country is energy, food, and security. So energy also has to do with power, supply, electricity, and all those things. So look at energy. Let's say fuel. You see that the price of fuel has been going up consistently. Now look at food. Food inflation. Nigeria imports food. We are importing food. Like, this is not something that, even if no matter what, Africa shouldn't lack food. A country in Africa shouldn't be have like a food inflation. People won't actually complain if every other thing is going up, but at least you can use your money, go to the market and buy enough food that you can eat. People don't won't actually care. So, but that's not the case. Look at food inflation. It has consistently been going up. The data started in January 2018 till October 2022. It has been going up. This was October 2022. Now imagine 2023, where it's going to be now. So now this is also this one shows you how the naira has depreciated. So this shows you the external reserve. The blue area shows you the external reserve. You saw that it's going down. Now the official rate is this, because the official rate the official rate is like Nigeria. Nigeria has this interventionist policy where they intervene in the forex market all the time. So they like kind of state that the value of naira is 200 to $1. That if you have $1, what we are going to give you is 200. So they don't, at the initial time, they don't actually allow the market forces to dictate it, because they know that because we can't control the demand, that if they allow the market forces to dictate it, that is going to tank our naira. So that's why they didn't do it at initial. But now, when Tinubu came in, he now said, okay, he's going to try and reconcile them. But they still intervene. So it's still not even done properly and all that. But that's not the case for today anyway. But how you can see how the difference between the official rate and the parallel market rate. So like this is like actually what is going on. Now look at this is the interest we are paying, the interest payment that we are paying in 2018. Look at where it was. Now this is 2021. So we have been paid. This is a percentage of like our Federal Reserve that we are. God. So we are spending like 57% of our Federal Reserve. Now we are spending over. So because what is actually happening now is that they borrow money in dollar. Obviously, when you go to borrow money, you borrow money in dollar. It's not naira that you're borrowing that money in. So when you borrow that money in dollar, and you bring it home, when you are going to pay back, you're going to pay back in naira. And remember, we earn in naira in Nigeria. So by the time, let's say you used that money to invest in some kind of thing, those things that you invested in is actually going to be in naira. So by the time you recoup some amount of money from your investment, or you collect tax or whatever things you're going to collect, by the time you collect it, you collected it in naira. So maybe even when you want to go and pay a certain percentage of that money, maybe 2 naira was, let's say that 100 naira was £1. So maybe by the time you collect to go and pay, it's now that 150 uh, naira is now £1. So it makes sense, like it's as if you are toiling for nothing. That's what's going on now. This, like, things, Nigeria is going down. We need to understand this. We need Buhari. I mean, Tinubu is already there. There is nothing anybody can do about that. But we need, the essence of me doing this podcast today is that we need to let him know. Stop, like, like, stop pampering him, saying let us give him time, this and that. We need to let him know that he needs to do something, even if it's Obi that is there. We don't let him, like, sit down and is resting. No, he also needs to know that this is urgent. We don't have much time anymore. Like, we don't want to become like we are the the giants of Africa. But what do we have to show for it? Should we lay tribalism? This is like the impact that we have, the impact of our corrupt political system, and part of that corruption in that political system is tribalism. So this shows you the impact, where how things have gone, like how far things have gone. Things are not getting better. We need, like, our leaders just needs to do the right thing. They just need to do the right thing, and that's my hope anyway. I know things are not going to happen in a day. I know, but this is the same thing that happened with Buhari. Buhari came in, said change, this and that, like, and then he did, like, he kept. The funny thing about Buhari was that, when he came in, the people that are supposed to, even, let's say, the north, because if you are from, that's that tribalism I'm talking about. As an Igbo guy, if I said something uh against Buhari, I will be viewed that, oh, you are, the only reason you are saying it is because you are Igbo. But, like, there are some facts there. One of the reasons I knew that Buhari was never going to do anything in 20, it was in 2015 that Buhari entered, right? 2015, yeah, that's when he won the first election. The day he won, the day they announced that result, I was in my auntie's house. I remember I cried. And the reason I cried is because my dad always buys this magazine listing for me. So I have been reading. I went to old magazines as well. So I read, like, about the administration of Buhari, how Buhari ruled during his tenure. I knew that he was never going to do anything. Like, like, I knew he had no plans. He didn't tell you his plans. What plans did he tell? He told you that he's going to bring Akara down, the price of Akara. He's going to do that. He's going to do that. He's going to do that one. Even if actually in the mind of Buhari that he wants to succeed, that he wants to help Nigerians, he doesn't have that way power, like that will to like make that decision. He doesn't actually. He may not be a bad person, but you need to have that way power to say this should happen, this should not happen. Not when you are the president and then you have a whole lot of people making decisions for you, everybody chasing their own selfish interest. And then when somebody opens their mouth and say, this is things are not going well, they will say you are Igbo. Things are not going well. You don't need to be Igbo, you don't need to be outside, you don't need to be Yoruba to see that things are not going well. Even right now, things are not going well. You need to say it. Whether you so much love Tinubu or you hate Obi or you love Obi, you need to say it. If Tinubu does some important policies, you don't need to be mute. If he does some things that are good, you say it. The local government autonomy that he did is very good. It wasn't like it was like that's what Nigeria needs. That's good. Even though I don't see the need for the loan because I don't like the problem with Nigeria is I don't know if we have the system to like the student loan if we have the system to like to make things effective. So, but some Nigerian student heads and some students are getting money from that loan. It's not that bad. I'm not going to say that why are you wasting your time on that. It's not that bad. But we like the blame is on everybody so because even when the problem now is that when some of obedience refuse to say the truth, to acknowledge some things that are truthful, like that are truth, the valid truth that people are seeing, that now shows their bias. So people will not everybody will now go back to their everybody will now go back to like go back to where they are like the place that they have always been coming from, which is saying yes because you are Igbo. Okay, me even I'm Yoruba. I'll be doing this thing. I will forever show my support. But no, we need to move beyond that. So let us just understand. Let us just understand that this is politics is the most important aspect in our lives, and that we have to take it seriously. We have to. We need to look beyond any sentiment. There is no specific policies for that is they will say only Yoruba people should line up, only Igbo people should line up. No. So let's just understand these things and then know like just so that our leaders can hear like when they see that we are serious, they know that we are serious. So these are one of the things this is like the few things I'll say now. Um in the upcoming videos, we're going to talk about or like, I don't know the particular topic I'm going to choose, but I might have maybe even I might have a guest. We're going to talk about politics, talk about the different systems we have and all that. So just stay tuned, and then let us just understand this let what I just wish that could happen. I'm not saying that in a magical angel should come and like use a magical wand and turn Nigeria into an utopia. No, if we can only there's only one thing we need: love for the country, like a love for Nigeria. If we can actually love Nigeria, like we want Nigeria to succeed, it's not going to happen in one day. But at least when things are going in the right direction, we know that things are going in the right direction. You understand? So, but things at the moment are not going in the right direction. So that's the major lesson I wanted to pass out in this video, and expect more from me. So, thank you guys. See you.